Masters of the sport, they actually travel around and learn from other masters of legitimate martial arts, such as Kendo, fencing, German longsword, and many others. These forms you'll recognize from the Star Wars movies because they use the very, very same. Going forward from that, we have an international capacity. So we are much larger than anything else that you'll see from other lightsaber groups. We start from Spain, Italy, the United States, Sweden, the Netherlands, and the list is pretty large. So we have international ranking systems where we move on from that and we can compete at a local level. We compete at a national level, a regional level, as well as an international level. I'm going to let Adam say a few more things, and then we're going to get started with a couple demonstrations for the, two of the different forms, and then we'll let you see the live duel as well.
Thank you, Coach. Like I said, we were based off in Italy. That's we are founded on three main principles of service, care, and respect. That's what we do, how we conduct our classes, how we conduct ourselves even outside of classes. Service, we're here for each other, we're here to build each other up, not tear each other down. We show care to each other. We're not wearing any kind of armor. Say we have padding gloves, we have other sort of protection. So we have to show care with each other. We have to have control and safety in our techniques. It's kind of echoing a little bit. I'll walk over here. And then the last one, last but not least, is respect. Respect for each other. Everybody is welcome here. We don't discriminate. We don't shun anybody. We all come from different aspects of life. We have Star Wars nerds. We have martial artists. Everybody is welcome here. Everybody comes and enjoys time with Ludosport. As Cody said, there is an international level of competition. The last World Championship was in 2019. 2020 couldn't have it because of COVID. This weekend, we are actually having an international tournament in Milan that is being live streamed on YouTube. And it's going to be a team tournament for the first time in Ludosport history. And you'll see all different kinds of forms, 1, 2, 3, 4, single, dual, and staff sabers being used. As Cody said, we have a couple demonstrations here for you. So we'll show you our Form 1, our Form 2. We'll show a few techniques with the dual sabers and the staff. And then we'll be open for any questions or anything like that afterwards. All right, hope you guys enjoy.
All right, so who we got coming up here? We have two of our more advanced students. We've got Sammy on the left and then Tiffany on the right. So if you guys want to come center. So what they're going to start off with, they're going to be doing some ligatories. What these are some of the training techniques that we use for the first form, which is based off of Kendo, or if you are a Star Wars fan, Shicho.
So the thing about Form 1 is it's a two-handed technique. So everything that we do is two-handed except for one technique. As Cody said, this is for training purposes to kind of learn how to master these techniques and do it in a safe way and learn how things just naturally end up flowing together.
And as we stated before, service, care, and respect is a big part of our credo here. So one of the things you might hear them say is the word distanza. Everything that you hear in this sport is based in Italian. The reason they do that is since it is at an international level. You learn the words of the attacks and everything in Italian so that you can compete anywhere in the world with whoever you are. So that table right there, for instance, whenever they get close to it, Tiffany will say distanza. The reason behind that is it means stop. It is to show safety and respect to the person that you're competing against to make sure that you have somebody to continue competing against. So they're going to go ahead and switch it up and show you the second ligatory.
They've been doing that. We'll show you guys.
I'm just kidding. They're already doing it.
Form 1 dueling against Form 1 is going to look like. Shows all of our techniques, not just a couple of them. Just so you guys can get an idea of what Form 1 looks like. So when you guys are ready, go ahead. Tiffany just called an O there, which is the way we score in Ludosport. It's considered a lethal strike. It is a strike to the main part of the body, the upper arms, the chest, the torso, and your thighs, or the top of the head. That is how you score a point. Sammy just called an E, meaning she got hit in a non-lethal spot, but it gave Tiffany the chance to go ahead and strike for a lethal blow, but she has to open up to be able to do so. As far as I'm aware, Ludosport is the only one that does anything like that when you have a non-lethal blow where you have to get your blade offline to give your opponent a chance to score rather than keeping the blade in the way. Right there, they both scored an O at the same time. It would have been called a doppio, and no points would have been awarded because it happened at the exact same time. And so they would just reset and continue.
So we're gonna have them do one more surge toward each other. And then at the end of this, we will show you how you conclude a duel. The O was called.
So with that, the duel has been concluded. The victor would be declared. We always show respect by saluting and some kind of sportsmanship, fist bump, hugging, carrying them off the stage, whatever they're most comfortable with. All right, so next we're gonna switch out a couple of our people here. We'll get a demonstration up here. We're using Form 2. Form 2 is gonna look very much like fencing. Classical fencing, one-handed techniques, some thrusts, some, not really parries is what we call them, but some defensive positions to move the blade off center line, and we're going to go from there.
You'll notice that it is a lot more explosive than Form 1, where Form 1 is a very balanced, stable technique. Form 2 is very quick, explosive, reactive, and it really just is determined by who gets there first. So it can get pretty aggressive, which is why we never start teaching that first.
So in Ludosport we teach control, which is what you see in Form 1 first. Because the thrusts can be dangerous, our blades don't bend they don't collapse on each other, they can bend, but it can still be dangerous if the tip of the blade ends up anywhere in the center of the chest or in the face. So it looks like these guys are ready, so we'll go ahead and we'll turn it over to them and let them do some Form 2 dueling.
We've got Aaron to the left and Devin to the right. Devin actually was the regional champion in the last regional tournament. Congratulations to him.
So right now there's different kinds of guards in Form 2. Devin was in a low guard while Aaron was considered in a high guard.
And if you watch closely, if you've ever seen any of the Star Wars movies, if anybody in here is a Count Dooku fan, this is his preferred method of combat.
As you can tell, it's a little bit more linear, explosive movements than what you saw in Form 1. A little bit more reaching involved, which is why we have to have some control as to not hurt each other with this form. All right, and Aaron got the O there, so they reset, and they will start again. So if an opponent strikes if you strike your opponent's hilt, it's considered an E, because the blade would have been destroyed at that point. The opponent wielding that blade would have to open up, giving the other opponent a chance to get a fatal strike.
And then at this point, we're going to let them go ahead and show it up. Like I said at the beginning here, this is a mixed sword martial arts sport. So you can't switch back and forth between the two different forms. And they're going to demonstrate now.
So the more you progress, the more forms you learn. You can switch out between all of them and kind of develop your own style of fighting based off of those techniques. So in Ludosport, there are two different ways in which you can win a competition. There is the arena, which is your classic fight to the last man standing kind of tournament. And then there's also what's considered style. Style is basically how well you stay in form while you're fighting, how safe you are, your combinations that you throw. So it's basically an average of your overall fight So a person who gets out in the first round of eliminations could still win style if they score very well. A lot of the times, the person who ends up winning arena will more likely win the style champion as well. So Aaron right now is in Form 2, while Devin is in Form 1.
And as you notice, when Aaron's making his strikes with his one-handed form, one hand is never going to beat two. Form 1 has a very strong defense, and he's got to get around that blade. So he can't rely on just brute force to get his points. He's got to be quick to strike.
So within Ludosport, we do have a ranking system, just kind of like in any martial art. You start off as like white belt, and you work your way up. You start off as a novice, you work your way up to an Asiato, which is what Aaron and Devin are both currently, that's their uniform that they're wearing. The next level would be Academico, or what most people consider a Jedi or Sith. Again, we are in no way associated with Disney or Lucasfilm, so we cannot use those titles. After Academico would be Cavalieri, and then eventually Master. So at Academico, you get to choose your colored sub-tunic at that point, and then you also get to choose a blade color. And a lot of people have a preference as to what color it is, whether it's going to be the classic blue, green, purple, or some people who are more mischievous like to go with the red.
Oh, mischievous or powerful, I don't know what you're talking about. And at this point, we're going to give these guys a break because where they make it look easy, it is very taxing, very tiring. We are going to now let you see some of the more advanced styles. There are 3 different styles of combat that you can choose once you get to a certain rank within Ludosport. First, of course, is what you just saw, the long blades. That is what everyone starts with before you can go any further. And then you also can use dual blades, which are going to be a little bit shorter, but you've got 2. And then you've also got stabs. So what we're going to go ahead and do is our instructor, Adam, is going to demonstrate first with the shorter dual blades. So as you can see, with him having limited reach, he must compensate with smart tactical strikes. Where Devin has a longer blade and more control in that regard, he had to move the blade out of his way and then come in with the second. Now he's going to show you a few more advanced techniques using the staff. The staff is going to be a little bit different than the other 2 that you've seen. Because as you can see, it's a lot of redirection. So as he strikes with the long blade, he uses the momentum with every strike to move his blade and catch him off. He's using very little force and very little energy and is able to catch his opponent off guard.
So right now we currently only offer Form 1 and Form 2 St. Louis here. Eventually we are working on getting the rest of the forms, the different staffs, for staff and dual sabers. We only showed a few techniques. We don't want to duel because we don't know those very well. We don't want to be unsafe, potentially harm anybody here. But we wanted to show you guys there are multiple ways, multiple different things, weapons, not weapons, tools. Once you get to that point, you can decide on which way you would like to go, what path you would like to follow.
And as we promised, we only have a few minutes left. We said we'd let you see a full-on duel. So Adam and I will be acting as referees for this, and we will have Sammy and Aaron coming up to demonstrate a full-on duel. Adam will be acting as our official ref, and I will be his assistant.
Solid.
And then as we call these strikes, and the O's and everything, we will be using the Italian words to kind of give you an idea of what this officially will look like.
All right, so we start off every match with a salute, just to show that respect between opponents. Then we'll get into their guards. Via. Say in a tournament and round robin or pools, it would be the first to 3 points, or first to 3 exchanges, and then in elimination, the scoring system changes up a little bit. Stop. What'd you see?
It looked to me as an imagura. If the strike would have continued through that E, it would have cut through her center mass.
All right, in that case, we would declare that Sammy here had received got the O, and the point would go to Aaron. So it'd be uno, zero. We would reset, guard it, via. Stop. Oh. Do it. You wanna, or do it. You settle. I can't count. Guard it. Last point. Via. Continue on it. Yep, stop. So in that case, we would have called it an E2O. Aaron hit Sammy in her hands, which is an E before she was able to finish her strike, and then Aaron continued on and got the O. So the point would go to Aaron for tre, P0. I would then declare Aaron the Vincitore. Salute. So our arenas in an actual duel are much larger. It's an 8 meter diameter circumference or circle, or an 8 by 5 meter rectangle, just so that way we actually have room to move around and be able to perform these techniques safely and appropriately.
So we are the St. Louis group. We are the ones based out in this area. The way this works is we actually have classes every Sunday that we teach at, and you are more than welcome to come out and actually learn the sport. We still have a few minutes left. We've got about 5 minutes. If you're okay with it, I'd like to open it up for anybody that has questions.
Of course.
Yes.
Hello. I'm wondering, injury-wise, what's the most severe there's been, would you say?
Injury-wise, in our clans and our school itself, I honestly don't know of any legitimate serious injury. The most I've actually seen are bruised fingers because, well, you're fighting with lightsabers and you're gonna get hit in the hand. But I've never seen concussions. I haven't seen broken bones. Nobody's lost any eyes or anything like that. One of the reasons behind that is within the sport, before you're even allowed to compete in a tournament, you have to prove your own safety. You have to show that you're not gonna harm anyone and that you can be trusted to fight with respect and care.
Why is it dangerous for it to hit your head or stomach?
Well, I'm sorry, what was that? Why is it dangerous, what?
Why is it dangerous to hit your head or stomach?
Why is it dangerous to hit your head on something? Well, if you hit your head,
Why is it dangerous to a lightsaber to hit it?
oh, it's very dangerous to hit somebody on the head with a lightsaber very hard for a very specific reason. You can get a concussion, your head bleeds a lot harder, it just hurts a lot.
And again, that's just to re-emphasize safety and control. We don't want to be swinging around, clubbing each other, because then we don't have anybody to practice with. We won't make many friends that way either. And so it's just one way we show safety and care.
Is there any safety in a real match?
In a real match, always, safety is very important. Actually, as part of the referee's abilities, it is important for them to be watching and calling anything that becomes unsafe. Having the ref there is almost like a psychological deterrent from people getting wild. The more wild you get, the more unsafe you get carded. If you continue being unsafe, you can't be ejected from the match, which means they'll kick you out, and you're automatically losing.
So, like I said, like safety is our utmost concern with Ludosport because we don't want to injure our teammates, our clans, our friends, and we just want to have a good time.
With it being a full contact sport with absolutely no padding except for your gloves, and you gotta be careful.
I think that's all the time we have for questions as we're closing in 3 minutes here at the Science Center. So,
Oh goodness, so sorry guys.
No, you're okay. We're so glad. And we're sorry for those whose questions we didn't get to, but I'll let you finish out anything you want to say.
Well, like I said, if you want to check us out, you can go to our website, ludosportstlouis.com. Come and see us on Sundays. We have every third Sunday of the month. We do host what we call discovery classes, where you can come in and actually get a more full-on demonstration and learn a few techniques. Adam?
Like you said, every Sunday. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, Ludosport International, on Facebook. Say there's the USA, there's all the different clans and academies. You're more welcome to find them. If any questions, you can email us, message us on Facebook. We'll get back to you, and we'll definitely want to answer your questions.
We look forward to seeing you guys on Sundays.
Thank you, guys.